famous, so they look at that differently.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? That's
right.
the whole problem.
Right.
If I were to do that to myself and people knew, guess what? I would not be on no damn news.
Not just that, I think they're going to try to set an example of him. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. I think that's what we're going to do.
But, like I said, the easy way out for the court is to assume that he did it to himself.
Right.
You know, that's the easiest way.
Right.
Then they just drop it.
Right.
Like, let's just put him in jail, it's done.
Right.
Instead of actually investigating what the hell happened.
Right.
Because you don't, like, if that really happened and those two guys really did this to him, you don't really know who else they're doing it to.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
That's true.
Like, you never know.
I wonder if anybody even thought, like, these dudes are lying.
Right.
Because it would be easy to make up, believe it or not. They actually did this. And, because they was mad at him for some type of reason. You know what I'm saying? And they was like, okay, we can turn this around and make it look like it's him that did this. You know what I'm saying?
They don't want to go to jail.
Right. And they're doing a good job. Yeah, they're doing a good job. You know what I'm saying, with this whole situation.
And you got to think, if they were extras on Empire, if they were one of them was his personal trainer, they're losing all their money if they go to jail.
Right.
So they don't want to do that.
And
you got to think of the consequences they're losing. What is he losing? He's not losing anything.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So that's my thing. Like, they don't want to lose shit. That's what they need to look at. Those people are guarding their story or whatever because they're going to lose everything they fucking have.
Right. And then the thing is, the text messages that the prosecutor read really wasn't proven that, you know what I'm saying, the actual setup. You know what I'm saying? It was more, he could have been beating him for anything. You know what I'm saying? He could have, you know,
He's a personal trainer, first of all, so he could have been working out or whatever the case is.
Right. Or it could, like they said, I mean, if that's the case, if this is the truth, it could have been a drug, you know what I'm saying? A nigga meet up with me and, you know. Yeah,
or just to talk, because if they're on the show together, they're obviously some kind of friends.
Right.
They're not, you know, or they're acquaintances. They could be having coffee for all we know.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But they could have set him up because it's easy. You know what I'm saying? They could have made him write that letter. You know what I'm saying? That's what people don't think about. Yeah, he wrote this letter and he signed his name. What if they made him write that damn letter?
Right, that's true.
They set him up to make him look like he did it to himself. That's what people do.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Right. Like, that's what masterminds fucking do.
Right.
They plan it on yourself to make it look like you did it when they did the whole fucking thing.
Right, true.
Like, people, they're not thinking like that.
So, what do we, you know what I'm saying, want to happen, or what do we want to see in this case to happen? What do we want to happen, you know what I'm saying, to our Jamal?
I honestly, this would just be the best if those guys just confessed and said that they did it or something. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. But that would
if that's the case, if that's the truth, that, you know what I'm saying, Jamal didn't do it, these dudes need to fess up and, you know, admit they're wrong.
That would be the ideal situation.
Yes.
You know what I'm
saying? But
saying?
if it's the other way around, you know what I'm saying, I would honestly, you know what I'm saying, want Jamal to confess, you know what I'm saying, if that is what, you know what I'm saying, if he was wrong, confess about it, you know what I'm saying,
admit to it, period.
Yeah, and apologize, you know what I'm saying, and deal with the consequences. But I just don't want the consequences to be too harsh. I don't want that man to be in prison. I don't.
He can't handle
that would hurt me. And I don't really know this thing. You know, girl, we're going to go see Jamal.
We're going to Chicago.
No, I'm not going to Chicago. Ain't nothing.
And
this world ever going to make me go to Chicago.
Oh, Lord.
I can't do Chicago.
With him.
Okay, so something else I want to talk to everyone about and you was, have you heard about the new Michael Jackson documentary that has came out?
No.
Okay, so there's a new Michael Jackson documentary that just came out. It was a special showing view, whatever you call it, private view party or whatever. It's not publicly out, I don't think. You know what I'm saying? And the young boys, you know what I'm saying, if I'm not mistaken, it was two, you know what I'm saying, young boys, you know what I'm saying, that was the accusers back in the day, you know, they are grown now. They came forward and they are in this document and are saying that they're accusing Michael Jackson of actually molesting them. And that's what this document is basically about from what I can see.
But why would you come forward now?
The boys said back in the day it didn't happen. The sister said it didn't happen. Or Stan.
But that's what I'm saying. Why would you come forward now?
Tell me, because I think of what you're about to say.
Like, do you want some kind of fame or something? Because my thing is, he's already gone, so what are you really going to
get
getting out of it?
Thank you. That's what I don't understand. But I'm like, is there the fact that there is a paycheck, you know what I'm saying, off of this, and that's what you want is the money?
Probably.
What, I mean, could you possibly...
Make a book, a freaking movie, all that.
What could you gain off of this? But, I mean, if I ever have been molested, thank God I haven't, you know what I'm saying, and I feel sorry for anybody that has, but, I mean... I would want justice. I want them locked up. I don't give a damn about money, you know? So why wasn't it, like, brought up in your teenage years or whatever as Michael was still here, if that was the case?
Because you can't do nothing now.
Right. Michael's gone.
You're not going to get ownership of his house or something.
Right. I don't know.
What is your motive? Like, that's the thing.
But my whole thing, too, is if it's not true, how dare you? You know what I'm saying? How dare you?
Right.
I mean, that man went through so much during that time. And it's not fair. If that is not the case, if this is untrue, if this is untrue, then this whole situation is not fair. Y'all keep, you know what I'm saying, throwing dirt on his name, and it's not fair. I think it's sad.
It is.
And I don't even think anybody thought about his kids. Their dad is dead. There's nothing that could be done. You know what I'm saying? It's not affecting or cannot affect him. You know what I'm saying? So them telling the story, nothing could be done besides, okay, let me just share the story. You know what I'm saying? But what about the kids?
Are they just two random guys?
Yes. No, I guess they used to be at his house all the time. If you see a documentary back in the day that, if I'm not mistaken, CBS did. It was on 60 Minutes, 2020, one or the other. You know what I'm saying? And Michael had the kids over his house, and they was talking how they stayed the night and how, you know what I'm saying? They were speaking highly of Michael Jackson. You know what I'm saying? And they, at the time when the case was going on, they would fade out their faces, blur out their faces. But it was still two little boys.
My thing is, if that were to happen, then why would you keep staying there?
Girl, they said, listen to this. Oh.
You know what I'm saying?
They said that... The way they described things, the things that he did to them was just, I'm like, wow. When I was reading this, I'm like, oh my goodness. You know what I'm saying? Like, it was horrible. It'll make you cry. You know what I'm saying? The disgusting things that was on here that they said this man did to them boys.
Well, why didn't... I don't know. My thing is, why wouldn't they said anything? Where the hell were their parents or anything? Like,
right. The parents, to my understanding, I saw one mom on there, and she was doing interview, and she said, yeah, basically that her kids love, her kid loved staying with Michael, and how, you know what I'm saying, the sleeping arrangements would be. But she seemed like she didn't have no problem with it. But if this was so disturbing, as they claim it was to be what he did to them, how did you not tell your parent about this?
Or you wouldn't have wanted to keep staying there.
You
know what I'm saying?
Right.
If you're saying that he never made you stay there.
We talking about Neverland, you know, so Neverland couldn't win me over for, you know what I'm saying, sacrificing myself to be molested. I'm not, you know what I'm saying, no.
And if you're saying it was that horrible, that's just, it doesn't make sense.
Right.
How one time it's fine, and then all of a sudden, oh my God, he did all this to us. Like,
right. They said, I saw an article where they said that the baby, this is alleged, I don't know if it's true or not, but I was reading where they said that parents went to, you know what I'm saying, go get some help at the mental institution or whatnot, and it seems like she keeps school back there. You know what I'm saying? If I'm wrong, parents, if you hear this, I doubt you do. You know what I'm saying? If it's not true, I apologize, but, you know, I read that she's going to the mental institution a lot, and I understand why, you know, but the two guys, wouldn't you think they would feel guilty? Because they're a part of this, of why she's going to that mental institution.
Right.
Like, I couldn't imagine being those kids. Just imagine all the things that they have gone through. I remember when I was younger, how people used to throw dirt on Michael's name. And it's still going on, you know? it's crazy. I mean,
how old are these guys?
They're grown. They're grown men. I mean, either they're in their 30s or 40s, one or the other. They might be older than that, but if they're older than their 40s, then they look good for their age.
Then how old was Michael?
I know he was older than them because the little boys had to be between, from what I could see, from what I saw, between probably 10 and 13.
My thing is, why in the hell would the parents let 13-year-old boys stay at a grown man's house?
Girl, this is Michael Jackson's house, I guess. You know what I'm saying?
But listen, that doesn't matter. I don't care who it is. You know what I'm saying?
We're different from a lot of people. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people saw that this was Michael Jackson's house and this was a Disneyland in them. You know what I'm saying? But us, we're built from a different cloth. You know what I'm saying? Where our kids can't go anywhere. You know what I'm saying? I'm one of them parents that don't play.
You can't trust everybody. I don't care how rich you are.
Especially if I'm not in the house and my baby ain't got no... Listen, my kid has no business staying in any room with anybody that is not a relative.
Right. Something ain't right about that situation either.
Right.
Like, you should be blaming your mom. Then.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right. But, I mean, if you're a guest in somebody's house, wouldn't you go ahead and stay in a guest room? I swear, I am a big fan of Michael Jackson, and I do not want to believe that Michael would touch anybody's kids, just like I don't believe O.J. Simpson killed Nicole. But I'm just saying, I'm just throwing it out there, what could have and may have happened. Michael shouldn't have had... It's just common sense not to have them young boys in your bedroom.
Right. For anything.
Right.
Like, anything.
Right.
You never know who's watching. I don't know.
Right.
Like,
but they said Michael Jackson, had, what would I say? I wouldn't say a mind state of a kid. A mind state of a kid. But I don't think that's the case. I don't know. But the way I see people describe, his mental was of a child.
See, everybody has their own opinion. I don't know. I don't think.
Do you think
what would be his purpose? I mean, if he was that infatuated with it, why wouldn't he do it to every kid? You
right.
know what I'm saying?
I totally understand where you're coming from. And you know what I'm saying? He has a lot of family members, you know what I'm saying? Little cousins, nephews, and whatnot. I've never known one of those babies to come forward. I've never heard of that. You know what I'm saying?
So why would he just choose some random kid off the street?
Right. I don't know. So what do you think? Do you think this documentary needs to be banned?
I think, yeah.
Do you think they should boycott it?
Yeah, because it needs to be investigated or something. Because if you're saying in one time that everything was fine when you're little, But
you know what? I wonder if the family could go get, what's that thing when you slander somebody's name?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Something of character.
Yeah.
I think they should do that. The family should do that. You know what I'm saying? Because he was found not guilty. So,
Right. So my thing is, it's like, that's like me saying, oh yeah, I got molested, but it's okay. Like, all right, it didn't really happen. We had so much fun, and then 2 years later.
Nah, it's been a lot of years.
I know, but just for an example.
Okay.
2 years later, yeah, he molested me. They're gonna look at that old video like, well, when you were a little kid, you said that it was so much fun and all this. So did it really happen?
Right.
So they need to investigate what's really going on. Like, what is their purpose behind it?
Right. So you're saying that the detectives need to go ahead and investigate the boys.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay, gotcha. Because there's no way they can investigate Michael. What would be the sense? Right. I agree with you.
They have some kind of motive behind it. There has to be.
I agree with you. I think
you're not getting justice.
Right. I think, me personally, you know what I'm saying, either way, yay, it happened, no, it happened, you know what I'm saying, it should be boycotted. This movie should be boycotted, or show, documentary, whatever it may be. it needs to be boycotted because Michael's not here anymore.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?